Hey guys, Brandon here from TechnoBuffalo, and in this video I'm going to show you how to customize your subblog, your tech blog. We give you a lot of tools to be able to change the logo, add your own ad code, and even change all of the sidebar items so that you can make your tech blog your own. So let's go through what we have right now. So the logo you can change, I'm going to show you that. The ad code you can change. Scrolling down the list here, we have buttons for your YouTube channel and your Twitter address. And those come from the social network. So when you edit your profile, be sure you plug in your YouTube channel URL if you have one, and your Twitter handle URL if you have one of those, so that these buttons become hot linkable to those areas. Here we can search the blog. Below that, we have this neat little scrolling item that allows you to show people your most popular posts, your latest posts, a list of your comments, a list of your tags, and it allows people to subscribe to your RSS or subscribe via email. I'm going to click over to my dashboard, my WordPress dashboard, for the Brandon blog. And I'm going to click on TechnoBuffalo member theme options. Now I can change the colors of my TechnoBuffalo blog. Let's change it to green. I'm going to click Save Changes. And if I go over to the blog, refresh the page, things will turn green. Very subtle, but basically it's an accent color that we're allowing you to change. Perhaps if you have a favorite color or if your logo has certain colors in it. Speaking of logo, I want to add my own custom logo. I'm tired of looking at your logo here. So I'm going to paste the URL of my banner. Click Save Changes. Refresh the page. Ah, that's better. Going down the list, you can enter in your own Google Analytics code if you have an account, which is great because you can track how much traffic you're getting to your tech blog, where the traffic is coming from, and so on and so forth. You can also add in your FeedBurner RSS URL and your FeedBurner ID so that you can track how many people are subscribing to your tech blog via RSS. Now that we have the logo in place, let me show you how to change the ad code. So if you scroll down the page here in the TechnoBuffalo member theme options, you can see that I can add either Google AdSense code if you have an account, or I can just make a static banner for which I need to provide the URL and a linking destination for the URL. So again, like I said, a lot of people are linking to their YouTube page or their Twitter page, and you can do that here by uploading the image and pasting the URL and adding the destination. Now, it's important to note that if you add AdSense code, it will disable the static banner linking up here. So it's either one or the other. You can't have both, obviously. So one of the greatest parts of WordPress is its ability to let you add sidebar widgets. We give you a handful of widgets that you can use to customize your site, and in the future, we will be adding new ones. We split your sidebar actually into two different spots. So here we are on my subblog, and there's a sidebar on the left called Sidebar 1, and a sidebar on the right called Sidebar 2. So let's go back to my dashboard, and I'm going to scroll down to the left side where I see widgets. And over here on the right, you can switch between Sidebar 1 and Sidebar 2. I'm going to stay on Sidebar 1 and add two of my favorite widgets. The first one is actually Twitter Tools, which will show a live stream of my tweeting on Twitter. And I'll show you in a second how to set that up. There's actually another option that you have to go through in order to set up your username and password. So if I want, I can click Edit, and by default it says what I'm doing, but instead I'm going to change it to my tweets. I'm going to click Done. The second widget I'm going to add is an RSS feed, which is a live RSS feed of, my favorite site, perhaps my YouTube channel, or anything like that. I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to paste in the URL of the RSS feed of my favorite tech news site, Engadget, and give the feed a title. So I'll call it obviously Engadget. I can choose how many options I want there to be displayed. I'm going to choose 5. And you have some other options here. I'm going to leave it as default. And I'm going to click Save Changes. I'm going to click back over to my blog and refresh the page. And here we go. So here we have my tweets. And you can see the recent tweets that I have made. or I can click more updates to actually be linked to my Twitter page, or the Twitter page of anyone else that you want to keep an eye on. And here is the RSS feed from Engadget with 5 items. So in addition to those widgets, we give you a lot of other ones, such as Buffalo Messenger, which is our intra-site communication tool, Who's Online, which lets you see who is online right now in TechnoBuffalo, plus other ones such as links to your tag cloud, links to your pages, and so on and so forth. Let's talk about customizing the Twitter integration. So if you scroll down to the left side of the page, you'll see Twitter Tools. From here, you can put in your Twitter handle and your password, and you can also select multiple options to have a new tweet made every time you make a post on your sublog, which is very convenient because you don't have to go in, paste the URL, say, hey, here's my new blog post on TechnoBuffalo. And this plugin features a variety of options that really let you get granular with the settings in how the Twitter integration actually functions. Very easy to use. And finally, let's talk about other ways that you can customize your sublog. We're going to be providing links to WordPress tutorials that are very, very in-depth in case you still need some help in creating new posts and that sort of thing. But let's go through some of these items here. If we go to Tools, we have the option to install something called WordPress Turbo, which will store files locally on your computer so that it speeds up WordPress a lot. A lot of people really like this, and it may be something that you're interested in. Under Settings, we can click General. And here is where you want to go to change the title of your blog, which is good for search engine optimization. So as you can see, I called my blog iPhone Tips and Tricks. But right now at the top it says Brandon, just another TechnoBuffalo weblog. Well, I can change all of that. I'm going to change my blog title to iPhone Tips and Tricks, and I'm going to make the tagline, Hack Your iPhone. I can change my email address, I can change the date format, and when the week starts, let me hit Save Changes and see the change that has been made. Perfect, up here, now it says iPhone Tips and Tricks, Hack Your iPhone, just the way I want it. Let's continue down here and go to Writing. Here we can choose some other options, such as the size of the post box, whether emoticons should be converted to actual graphics. And you can also change the default post category, the default link category. Let's go to Reading. From here, you can choose how many posts show up on your page, and it's set to 10 by default. In discussion settings, you can choose really the behavior of the commenting on your sublog. Privacy. From here, you can decide if you want your sublog to be visible to the search engines, and I don't know why you wouldn't, to get more exposure that way. Then permalinks lets you determine the structure of the permalinks. And the permalinks are the URLs that are used to individualize a post. So if I want to send someone a link for my thoughts on the Zune HD, I'm going to click on that title, and up here is my permalink. And you can change the structure of your permalink, so you can have it have the month and the name, or listed with a number, or even a custom structure if you prefer to have it that way. And one final note before we wrap up. The buttons that you see here, well, there are 2 buttons right now, are actually the active categories. So we put these up here so that people can get to your site and they can say, oh, this person talks a lot about Xbox 360. There's a link in his navbar to it. And you click on that, it drills right into all of the posts that you've made with the category Xbox 360. So that's it for a look on how to customize your subblog on TechnoBuffalo. We hope that the blogs give you an opportunity to get your voice out and to talk about technology, to make videos about technology, and to use TechnoBuffalo to help get more exposure to the great work that you do.